Good afternoon. I'm William Morton, the principal here at John Glenn High School. I welcome you this day for the John Glenn High School commencement ceremony. The commencement is available to all of us, of course, but it is also being streamed in other places so that folks who are not able to be here may experience the commencement. I would like to announce that after the recessional today, that seniors will be located in the gymnasium called the Auxiliary Gymnasium, and you may go there to greet them and meet them. And now, staying seated, would you please prepare for the processional of the John Glenn High School class of 2015.
Ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ryan Kulwicki, the president of the class of 2015, and on behalf of John Glenn High School and the members of the senior class, we welcome you to our annual commencement ceremony. We are privileged to have all of you in attendance today to honor and recognize the class of 2015. Before today's program begins, the class of 2015 requests that the audience remain seated throughout the entire ceremony until the graduates have completed the recessional. Finally, we ask that you silence all cell phones and electronic devices in order to preserve an atmosphere of honor and respect. Now, would you please stand and join us as the senior members of the combined choirs sing the national anthem.
Good afternoon. I am Mr. Christopher Winchell, Assistant Principal at John Glenn High School. At this time, I would like to introduce to you the people sharing the stage this day. Mr. Richard Reese, Superintendent of the John Glenn School Corporation. Mr. Kurt Pletcher, President of the John Glenn School Board of Trustees. Mr. Robert Borlick, Vice President of the John Glenn School Board of Trustees. Mrs. Janice Ryan, Secretary of the John Glenn School Board of Trustees. Mr. William Groves, Mr. Dennis Holland, Mr. Jeffrey Johnson, and Mr. Thomas McCormick, all members of the John Glenn School Board of Trustees. Also, Mrs. Beth Schmeltz, John Glenn High School Guidance Counselor. Mrs. Sarah Rippey, John Glenn High School Guidance Counselor. Mrs. Patty Slough, John Glenn High School Teacher and Class of 2015 Sponsor. Mrs. Julie Parent, John Glenn High School Teacher and Class of 2015 Sponsor. To my left, and scattered about this room, are the many teachers and staff members of John Glenn High School. And to the many of you who have come from near and far, we are especially glad to have you here this day, and we welcome you again. You will notice that several seniors are wearing gold cords. These cords signify membership in the National Honor Society. Students are selected by a faculty committee based on the cardinal principles of scholarship, leadership, service, and character. This year, the state of Indiana will award 48 academic honors diplomas, 1 academic honors technical honors diploma, and 91 Core 40 diplomas to John Glenn students. This is quite a class. They have earned $2.16 million in scholarships to aid them as they move on to their post-secondary studies. Finally, I would like to identify the students in this senior class who have made the commitment to serve in the different branches of the United States military. Those of you who have made this commitment to protect our freedoms, please stand and be recognized. Welcome to all of you again, and we congratulate the class of 2015 for placing an importance on hard work and dedication to their academic studies. Thank you.
Secret of my destiny. Every new road I think is the one seems to lead right back to me. I pour away to be wiser, away to be strong. I see the answer was hiding in me all along, and I'm ready to fly over the sun like a rocket to heaven, and I'm ready to soar right through the sky. Never dreamed I'd find something to lift me so high. I've always had wings, but I wasn't ready to fly. The answer to all of my wonder is right in my hands. Now it's time for me to discover all that I am. And yes, I'm ready to fly over the sun. Like a rocket to heaven, and I'm ready to soar right through the sky. Never dreamed I'd find something to lift me so high. I've always had wings, but I wasn't ready to fly.
There are a few extras. I know many of you are standing in the back. We can take a minute. I would like for you to be able to enjoy this entire ceremony. So if you would like, we'll just take a minute. There are empty seats if you would like to come forward. There are several up here. There are some over here. Please feel free to do so. You look a little more rested today than you did 48 hours ago. So hopefully the 57 degrees, I don't remember it ever being 57 at graduation time, and the cloudiness and the rain may have allowed you to get some rest, I hope. Congratulations to the members of the class of 2015. Did you ever feel like you got a slap that you didn't deserve? Maybe here, maybe at home, maybe at work, maybe in a friendship, maybe in a relationship. It never feels good. I'm sure I've given some out in the last few days, and it doesn't feel good to give them. Back around spring break, I think many in our local towns here felt that slap when the local and the national controversy occurred that was centered around the Religious Freedom Restoration Act. I remember hearing something about it on spring break, about 100 miles from here when I opened the Indianapolis Star, and on the front page, we heard members of Hollywood, we heard the President of the United States say some things. It wasn't long after that local controversy that one of you asked me a question. It was a heavy question. You said you were perplexed. You were perplexed by the many startling issues of the day: ISIS, beheadings, rumors of war, terrorism, Ebola, racial tension in Ferguson, Cleveland, erupting volcanoes, earthquakes, global economic upheaval. You blurted out, "Mr. M, is the world about to end?" Now that's quite a question with a month left of school. It's quite a question for commencement day. I didn't, and I haven't dismissed the sincerity of the question from one of you, a concerned senior, just as I wouldn't have doubted the sincerity if I'd heard it from those folks who lived during the Great Plague of the Middle Ages, or let's say the Jewish folk when they witnessed millions of their own kinfolk gassed to death. Maybe the end is near, maybe it isn't. Not something you imagined, of course, that we mentioned today on a day of your new beginning, a commencement. My sense that it isn't going to happen before we give you a diploma. I might be wrong. But maybe not for another 1,000 years or more, maybe longer than that, maybe less than that. But rest assured, the question that you asked me has been asked across time. It was asked in the times of the Bible. And in thinking about the beginning, in thinking about the end, whether in the time of old or now, we find that we are caught living in the meantime. The meantime is the term for the time in between. It's a period, the meantime is the period between the door being closed. This door will be closed today as you leave, and another door opening for you someplace else. The meantime. Well, we don't have to look very far to see that we're living not just in the meantime, but sometimes in mean times. A few weeks ago, I had this conversation with Mr. Snyder. We shared some thoughts regarding an unfortunate meanness that seems to exist sometimes in politics, sometimes even in world religions. And yet, this is not what he learned. It's not what I learned. We're about the same age. It's not what we learned as younger boys. It's not what we learned as school lads. Our country, ladies and gentlemen, was founded on the premise that we're encouraged to disagree with each other and say so. And that it is encouraged and it is our right. I would rather you tell me where you stand so you're not under the radar, and then I can make up my own mind. But if and when disagreement comes, we can do so with respectfulness and a belief in each other, and a belief that in the viewpoint of our opponent, that is just as great as my viewpoint. That's the history of this country, and we seem to be, experiencing amnesia or something. But not one of us in this room, not one of you, I don't have total truth. I'm on a journey to find it. And I hope that your commencement says that to you, that you leave here on a quest to continue to search for truth, and that it just might be in your life you might change your mind a half dozen times on certain things. I have. Why have I done that? Because I have come to grips with the fact that the more I learn, the more I realize, the less I know. There is so much to take in. I've spent my life as a student, and I've spent my life around people your age. It's had a powerful impact on me. The thoughts and ideas that come out of your mouths and your hearts are mind-boggling sometimes, but they're provocative, and they're life-changing too. I've laughed with you. I've cried with you. Things that you have said that come from the depths of your soul, things that speak about who you are. Back to that story about our controversy around here. It was interesting that once that act was passed and signed, that one of our local television stations went looking for a story. We know they found one. And as soon as they found it, the word spread, perhaps unfairly. At the height of the controversy, another local television station got a hold of me. I was in a classroom. I was called to the telephone, and I was asked if we had had a 2-hour delay because of imminent danger and threats. I politely stated, "Ma'am, someone's making news for you. John Glenn High School has not been on a 2-hour delay. John Glenn High School's been open for a full day's worth of business, and we aren't fearful of any potential danger." Every day, Mr. Winchell and I, a man I'm 1.5 times older than you are, Mr. Winchell. He made that out the other day. It was a little more than that, but I didn't say the age. But we spend a lot of time every day trying to make sure that the precautions for safety and well-being are undertaken. Well, modern controversies are going to continue, and the challenges for you are many. But I ask you this question. You're going to deal with all kinds of controversies. Do we have to be mean? Do we have to be hateful when we disagree? You already know the answer to that. No. Speak your thoughts. Put your ideas out there articulately and convincingly, but always with respectfulness. Be thoughtful. Be careful about inflicting pain on other people in the name of righteousness. You know, there's a tendency to get very heated over human sexuality. I can say that to you now because you're about to be graduated. Rightfully so. Human sexuality is what stirred the pot here. It's important. One of the challenges for you to recognize that you have got to work hard to safeguard the sacredness of what it means to be a person, because you're not a toy. Take that out of here with you. Here's an interesting question. A few of the juniors sitting around here, and maybe a senior or two, and I have fussed with it from time to time. What's the worst pleasure? What's the worst misdeed that you could commit? Those of you that are very spiritual could say, what's the worst sin? But the answers are going to be all over the board. But there's a very, very incredible writer and thinker named C.S. Lewis. He's respected highly, greatly esteemed. He said the worst pleasures in life are not related to the shortcomings related to sexual behavior, but instead they include the pleasure of putting other people in the wrong, the pleasure of bossing, of spoiling sport, of backbiting, the pleasures of hatefulness, the pleasures of power. Now, he's only one writer. He's only one thinker. But I'm fascinated that he wrote that the worst things are the mean things we do to each other. So, how do you live in mean times? Here's what I've carried around for a long time, and it's 2 lines. It comes from a great old book that some of you studied this morning. Hate what is evil, but you don't stop right there. There's another line, and sometimes we don't act it out. Hate what is evil, but be devoted to each other in love. Is there a way to live that trumps all other ways? Well, if I had a book up here, and I wish you'd taken a course in comparative religions, because if you studied them all, Judaism, Christianity, Buddhism, Taoism, Hinduism, the Muslim faith, and so on, you'd find a common thread. It'd be a great common core question when you were done. What's the common thread? One word. Love. Love one another. So while we live in the meantime of mean times, you and I are charged to figure out a way to live lives of meaning. And the way you can do this is you're about to study to become a lawyer, a computer scientist, a nurse, a mechanic, a machinist, a physical therapist, a police officer, a haircutter, an engineer, a teacher, is to smother meanness. All of you and I, and all of you members of this class and I will never agree on all the hot button topics. Nor should we. And our incredible story or history is all about how you don't have to. You already know the subjects, and there's so many ways to think about them. When you go into social studies classes, there are some classes where actually those subjects are dealt with. But what's made us a successful school, what's made us a successful society is the same that will make you a successful person. And I will guarantee your success if you understand that your success will be based upon how you live and how you deal with other people. Simply put, how you love. How do you do it? Well, you outlove people who don't know how to love. People will never be drawn to that thing called love, because of the positions that we take on the toughest issues of this day, but they will be drawn to it because they see in you that you are a person illustrating and giving evidence to a simple, short word called love. You know how to love because I've watched you do it. I've watched you support each other. You've deeply cared for each other. On Friday, I thanked you for that in front of all of the underclassmen that sat here while you sat in your seats that you're in now. Thank you. And now a personal, heartfelt word of appreciation about how loving of me you have been, despite sometimes some of the conservative positions that I hold on many issues. I thank you for that. Remember, it's okay to disagree, but it's not okay to be hateful. It's okay to believe whatever you believe with conviction, whatever it is, but it's never okay to live without compassion. And it's never okay to be mean. But it's so okay to love. It's the only way. It's the only thing that's going to save us. And so the odd question once again as we get ready to bring you across this stage, when will the world end? No one knows. But in the meantime, your call, my call, is the very same. To love and love some more. It's not rocket science. Play nice. It's what we would have said when you left kindergarten. It doesn't feel good to ever get slapped when you don't deserve it. So you have a choice to become a loving, healing influence for the world. Now that's to go out and live a life with a purpose, on purpose. When you come across today the stage, Mr. Reese and I are going to give you something that we put together for you. It's not much of a gift, but it is a pretty neat verse. It's a bookmark. There's some confusion about to whom the credit goes. It may go all the way back about 1,600 years to a man named St. Augustine. Others have adapted versions of it. Even I've adapted it a little today. Before I read it to you, be aware of this. At some time or another in your life, you mark my word, at some time or another in your life, you will be a person that gets pushed out. You might have already experienced it in PE class when you weren't chosen to be on the team, when you got cut from a team, or anything else you can think of, but sometime you might get pushed out. It's going to happen. Here's the verse. Hated, despised, a thing to flout. They drew a circle that left them out. But love and I had the will to win. So we drew a circle that let them all in. If you find the verse repulsive, so be it. And I will defend to my death your right to believe so, to say so. And I would stand here and say, I respectfully disagree at this moment in my life. I believe with all my heart that your call is to leave John Glenn High School, to live each day making bigger circles of love, taking all in that you can. This is how you, and I are supposed to live in the meantime. May God richly bless you always.
eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He is trampling out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He hath loosed the faithful lightning of his terrible swift sword. His truth is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on. I have seen him in the watchlands of the hundreds of the camps. They have lived in his oaths to win the evening news and camps. His righteous sentences in the judgment wearing camps. His truth is marching. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on. In the beauty of the lilies, Christ was born across the sea. With the glory in his bosom that transfigures you and me. As he died to make men holy, let us live to make men free, while God is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah.
John Glenn High School is pleased to announce the class of 2015. Its salutatorian, Mr. Ryan Charles Eric. Ryan is the son of Kevin and Amy Eric. Ryan is a member, of the Rhythm Express Show Choir, the theater company, the student council, the Spell Bowl, the organization known as SAD, the class boards, the National Honor Society. He's been an office aide, a member of the League of Extraordinary Falcons, member of the Spanish Club, and the Falcon Fury. Ryan's GPA, after 7 high school semesters, are you ready? 4.265. He plans to attend Indiana University in Bloomington for the purpose of majoring in and studying law and public policy. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor to present to you Mr. Ryan Eric.
It is truly an honor and a privilege to speak in front of you this afternoon. Socrates once said that the secret to change is to focus all of our energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new. Today, fellow graduates, parents, relatives, guests, and John Glenn staff, we begin building the new. In doing this, however, we must say goodbye. We say goodbye to these familiar halls and classrooms that we have spent time learning and maturing. We say goodbye to taking Mrs. Dodson's elements quiz in chemistry in order to pass the class 4 or 5 times in a row, and memorizing the periodic table before every quiz. We say goodbye to Mr. Droder's inspirational picture of a toad hanging in his classroom that serves as a reminder to make something of our lives instead of solely hopping around. We leave behind Mrs. Parker's spectacular baking that has made each of her students look forward to her class. We leave behind having Chicken Nugget Day and Taco Tuesday that had all of us in a frenzy at lunch. We leave behind the classic joke of the week that the Falcon Friday show always aired for our enjoyment. We let go of running the mile every Friday in gym class that made us question why we even showed up to school in the first place. We let go of screaming many of the classic John Glenn chants at football and basketball games, such as spelling rowdy to intimidate our opponents. We say goodbye to the ECAs, the APs, the PSATs, the SATs, the ACTs, the NWEAs, the AccuPlacers, and all of the other standardized tests that made us, as well as Mrs. Schmeltz, scream internally. We say goodbye to eating a hot dog on the first and last day of school every single year that we've been a part of this corporation. We say goodbye to always seeming to have overdue fines at the Media Center and to all of the strenuous Halloween preparation that overcomes John Glenn in September. We say goodbye to the dreaded Spanish-speaking finals that make us wonder if we even know Spanish at all. We leave behind the school laptops that deleted, distorted, and destroyed some of our many documents and that were very important at the most inopportune times. We let go of the exhilarating Friday night football, the Falcon Pride's magnificent performances, the aerial staff's detailed literary magazine, the theater company's amazing productions, prom, the pep rallies, the parades, and the competitions. We say goodbye to many of the teachers and staff within this building that we have looked up to as role models who have molded us into who we are today. We say goodbye to many of our friends whom we may never see again, that we began playing on the school playground with and have grown up with together. We say goodbye to our parents, who have loved us unconditionally no matter what and have watched us grow as people. We have laughed together, smiled together, cried together, been heartbroken together, screamed together, danced together, and studied together for many of the past years of our lives. And after today, all of that will slowly fade away. With all of that said, I do not mean to sound like we are dying. And I do not mean for this change to sound like a bitter end. In fact, this is only the beginning. A famous Shel Silverstein poem states, "There are no happy endings. Endings are the saddest part, so just give me a happy middle and a very happy start." I believe that this building and every one of us within this gymnasium have created a happy start for ourselves. From all of our fond memories to all of our learning experiences, we have manufactured and fostered a life that has been given meaning. However, with development comes failure. Failure is and will be inevitable and unavoidable, but we have never given in and we will never give up. Look around you. Each and every one of us have made countless mistakes, yet each mistake has served as a learning tool that has taught us and allowed us to grow as students and as people. We have learned how to pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, laugh about it, and then move on with our lives. We have learned to stand up for what is right and for what we believe in. By doing this, we have each earned a chance to change our lives. As Mahatma Gandhi once said, "Be the change you want to see in the world. Don't sit back and watch life as it passes by. After all, progress is impossible without change." Sure, these next few moments in time will be scary. These next few moments in time will be intimidating. In these next few moments in time, we will encounter some of the most exhausting and difficult situations that we will ever face. But, in the grand scheme of things, these moments will create a tremendous amount of rewarding and extraordinary memories. Things might not go the way we always dreamed they would, but eventually, things will turn out okay. We must grab hold of our lives and form our destinies according to how we see fit. We are all capable of changing the world and making a difference in the lives around us. All we have to do is believe in ourselves, and the possibilities are endless. To close, I'd like to quote something Walt Disney once stated. "Around here, however, we don't look backwards for very long. We keep moving forward, opening up new doors and doing new things, because we're curious, and curiosity keeps leading us down new paths." With every new door we open comes a new opportunity and a new experience waiting to be seized. If we keep moving forward, the opportunities are limitless. And as Christina Yang, a character on my favorite TV show, Grey's Anatomy, once said, "Whenever we think we know the future, it changes. Sometimes the future changes quickly and completely, and we're left with only the choice of what to do next. We can choose to be afraid of it, assuming the worst that can happen, or we can step forward into the unknown and assume it's brilliant." Class of 2015, we are about to embark on the most extraordinary experience ever possible, life. Let us take that step forward into the unknown, keep moving forward, and begin to create our future. Thank you.
The John Glenn High School class of 2015's valedictorian is awarded this year to Justina Joyce Weiss. Justina Weiss is the daughter of Greg and Michelle Weiss. She has been a member of these organizations while here at John Glenn High School. Been a part of the Rhythm Express, the Spanish Club, the Student Council, the Senior Board, many musicals, the track team, and the Falcon Fury board. At the end of the 7 semesters here at John Glenn High School, Justina's GPA is 4.267. Justina plans to attend IUPUI in Indianapolis, where she will major in biology and dermatology. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor to present to you the valedictorian, Miss Justina Weiss.
Just think, 4 years ago, we were entering John Glenn High School as freshmen. We were already looked down upon by the sophomores simply because they weren't freshmen anymore, and we were. And we were all wondering what it was like to have one of the big lockers all the way down in the senior hallway. The upperclassmen looked so much bigger then. I'm not sure if it's genetic deformity as years pass or we actually got bigger. Probably genetics, but then again, here we are. 3 months away from college, or already working, or in the military, and it seems so surreal. I remember watching the 2014 commencement like it was yesterday, and thinking, next year that's going to be me, us, the class of 2015. Then, New Year's came, and 2015 did too, and I thought, wow, the year we are graduating is finally here. But we still have months to go, and now, this is it. Whether this is everything we've ever dreamed of or not remains to be seen. But here we are, and I'd like to say congratulations. I'd also like to thank you all for making John Glenn High School forever part of my past, a piece of me, and a place that I'm proud to call my home. I hope that you are all able to say the same, because home is what makes you who you are. It's a place where there's always someone to comfort you when you're hurt. It's a part of your past, and it drives your future. But most importantly, it's a place you can always come back to. However, today is not about the past. It's about welcoming the present and seeing what the future has in store. And while they say home is where the heart is, I must admit, I am ready to leave. Don't get me wrong, I'm going to miss sprinting down the hallway, saying hello to Mr. Droder on my way to Mrs. Dodson's room, because God help me if I'm late again. Or talking to Mama Tina in the lunchroom trying to score some extra fruit. Or listening to Mr. Horvath quote Mean Girls on a regular basis because even he can't deny it's a great movie. This speech marks the end of that. A final goodbye, if you will. But don't look at it as something negative, because it's time. It's time we make our own way in this world. And I think that Waylon Jennings said it best when he sang to Willie Nelson, "If you see me getting smaller, I'm leaving. Don't be grieving. If you see me getting smaller, don't worry. I'm in no hurry. I've got the right to disappear." As do you all. Now is the time to find out who we really are, what we really want from this life, and exactly how we expect to earn the life we think we deserve. Whether you plan on living the rest of your life in Walkerton or not, I think it takes going out and experiencing a life completely different to understand the person you're destined to be. You have to experience now, the present, to decide what you truly want for your future. After all, as Dumbledore said to Harry in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, it does not do to dwell on dreams and forget to live. Remember that. Seeing as though Harry Potter has shaped my childhood due to the fact I am still an aspiring wizard, I find this truly applicable to my life and to where we are all at in our own lives. There has been so much stress recently to know what we want and who we want to be in 5 years that we forget to experience life for what it truly is now. We forget time is fleeting. We forget that our childhood best friends will no longer be at our sides every single day. And we take for granted the opportunities we have now, assuming they will come again later in life. But chances are they won't. Some of us will be in the military, some of us will be married with kids, and some of us will be on our way to on our way to a master's degree and look back to when we were 18 years old and regret not living while we could. We'll regret not living the lives we were meant to because we didn't experience the world like we should have. As Amelia Earhart once said, the more one does and sees and feels, the more one is able to do. and the more genuine may be one's appreciation of fundamental things, like home and love and understanding companionship. So my message to you is simple. Appreciate the past, experience the present, and embrace the future. Thank you and congratulations.
Members of the class of 2015, will you please prepare yourselves for graduation from John Glenn High School? Superintendent Richard Reese, I present to you this day the membership of those who have met the requirements to graduate in this class, the class of 2015. And now, Mr. Reese.
Mr. Morton, I've examined the high school records of the members of the John Glenn class of 2015, and I find these students have completed the necessary local and state requirements for graduation from John Glenn High School. Mr. Kurt Pletcher, President of the John Glenn School Board of Trustees, will award diplomas to the members of the class of 2015. I ask Mrs. Sarah Rippey and Mrs. Beth Smeltz, John Glenn High School guidance counselors, to call the roll.
Would the junior class marshals, Samantha Stewart and Lucas Stegmiller, take their positions for the purpose of moving our seniors to graduation?
Justina Joyce Weiss. Ryan Charles Eric. Ryan James Kolwicki. Rebecca Lynn Shu. Holly Michelle Rao. Marie Mackenzie Hostetler. Rachel Justine Lemmert. Jenna Brooke Adams. Faith Victoria Stahl. Mackenzie Brooke Moore. Hollyana Adams. Ainsley Adamson. Kevin Dallas Amon. Sean Michael Austin. Chase Stephen Bear. Aubrey Nicole Banks. Josie Lynn Balker. Gage Thomas Bennett. Emily Madison Billman. Rachel Sarah Bisnoth. Jacob Ray Boyer. Kyle Kenneth Boyer. Whitney Marie Brown. Elizabeth Louise Buck. Autumn Elizabeth Berg. Austin Nicholas Burnett. Connor Daniel Burns. Sydney Jean Carson. Jacob Lance Cottle. Melissa Sue Clark. Austin Joseph Coach. Kyler Lynette Columbia. Zachary Michael Combs. Jordan Kratasi. Michaela Lynn Cuthbert. Aaron Nicholas Dean. Adam Dean Dodson. Benjamin Timothy Jevietsky. Larissa Ann Edmiston. Mackenzie Christine Edmiston. Morgan Riley Eggleston. Mary Elizabeth Ike. James Audrin Farnsworth. Chad James Fritz Jr. Amber Michelle Furlong. Samantha Ray Gardner. Cheyenne Elizabeth Garrett. Presley Elite G. Andrew Scott Hansen. Edward J. Harper. Cheyenne Summer Harris. Kayla Marie Hatfield. Coda Lewis Hensley. Catherine H. Hirschberger. Brandon Chase Hill. Kimmerin Brady Hoferth. Andrew Lee Holderbaum. James Ingersoll. Damon Alexander Jackson. Josie Lynn Jankowski. Christian Vaughn Jaski. Hunter Jeremy Jaworski. Emily Jane Jones. Leah Ann Kaser. Gretchen Marie Keene. Jacob Mark Kickbush. Dalton Lee Carl King. Allie Nicole Klingerman. Joseph Andrew Kneisner, Jr. Madison Mackenzie Cobelt. Tyler Jacob Kordasich. Claudia Nicole Kovach. Calvin Raymond Kretschmer. Patrick David Kronk. Kristen Michelle Kubaki.
Teresa Grace Lyle. Morgan Rose Marie Lynch. Jillian N. Mago. Philip Lon Marsh. Sean Maston. Kaylee R. Motz. James Adam McAllister. Caleb Thomas McCormick. Andrew James McDonald. Quentin William McGoy. Cameron Joseph Leo Mester. Justin Tyler Miller. Samantha Jo Miller. Ariana Marie Moss. Giovanni Munoz. Samuel White Newhart. Brooke Amanda Nowicki. Allison Nicole Nutting. Jermaine Philip O'Connor. Adam Lee Palmer. Sarah Ashley Parks. Hayden Charles Theodore Parsons. Allison Ann Parrish. Madeline Rhiannon Piedra. Joshua David Poynton. Andrew Anthony Polinsky. Nicholas James Press. Colleen Pearl Prout. Brittany Nicole Pugh. Alicia Chloe Ream. Brady Harper Nancy Reardon. Paige Marie Reed. Evan Patrick Rhodes. Brianne Richardson. Austin Levi Reisner. Joseph P. Roddick Jr. Austin James Runau. Jared Martin Runau. Nicholas G. Santiago. Helen Marlena Satterfield. James Michael Savory. Levi Solomon Schlegg. Silas Scott. Jacob Kyle Scott. Samantha Josephine Scribner. Andrew Lyle Sheffer. Natalie Marie Shetler. Brooklyn Nicole Smith. Leslie Marie Smith. Brittany Lynn Snodgrass. Paige Kathleen Sokol. Brittany Mai Spornhauer. Jacob Samuel Strong. Madison Brooke Stricker. Ian Tyler Stull. Zachary Taylor Tibbs. Jonathan Douglas Troyer. Sky Christina Vickers. Lauren Elizabeth Vukovitz. Harold Edward Whalen. Samuel Foster Weiss. Nicholas Drew Wythe. Zane Parker Wisman. Faith Marie White. Elizabeth Ann Wilkes. Jody Ann Williams. Jordan Lee Williams. Jane Olivia Yakum.
Would the graduating students please stand? Members of the John Glenn class of 2015, I declare you graduates of John Glenn High School. Congratulations.
It is my duty and honor as president of the class of 2015 to announce that we are now graduates of John Glenn High School. Woo! Will you please take your tassel with your right hand and move it to the left with me? This will signify our graduation from high school. On behalf of my classmates, I would like to thank everyone for being here this day to support and honor John Glenn's graduating class of 2015. Please remain seated until the recessional is complete. And seeing as how this is probably the last time I'll see all of your faces, It's been fun. Thank you.